All right, I am here with Hania today. My name is Christopher.k.kokoll, and we are talking about intense energy healing. That type of energy healing that can turn you into from a depressed human having a terrible experience to something more joyful. They can see the purpose in progressively more and more things. Um, and it seems, I don't know if this is too simplistic of a definition, but that there's like two factors that really impact the spiritual journey. The karma, the cycling of what has come before, and grace that intervenes and says, hey, enough, cut it out. Or grace can do anything. Like there's been times where I've like lost my dog and be like, Bridge of Grace, and like she appears. I'm like, that's super helpful. But no, that's my understanding. Grace is like the wild card. Don't let your mind think about this too hard, but it can change, as far as I understand, the, the forward and backward arrow of time. So it's like kind of a reconfiguration. But I just noticed and I've seen this with other people, there's things we're super stuck in, and we try to get free of it. And I think where grace really, it helps us for self-realization. Because it's like, I want to get free of that thing. I want to change that thing, but one, it's fucking unconscious, so I don't know what the fuck to change, but I know it's a problem. Or, I have a vague idea. Or two, it's like, okay, um, I want to change it. I kind of know what it is, but I can't change it. So grace is like, it kind of enables our transformation at deeper levels and layers. Yeah,
Absolutely.
there was just a Shri M video, and he was like, yo, the last karmas, grace takes them out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like grace can penetrate so much deeper in our energy systems, in our body, the more we're actually willing to change, like the length we're willing to go to truly change ourselves and our lives is how deeply we can also receive the grace. And so it can really impact us in such a deep way that it can like really ripple out into how it impacts our own communities, the people that we're surrounded by, our own families. It can truly like change the root function of an entire group if you're like really willing to be that bridge and that change that you want to be in the world.
Right, because you're breaking that cycle yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if you really tune into like, why am I doing this? And if the intention is really from this space of selflessness, like really for the benefit of all, not just for my life, for the benefit of all beings, for the community, for the world, for humanity, it can just penetrate so much deeper because you become that vessel, you become that bridge for change for so many other people, and you can hold that frequency in your energy system, and the people around you, to whatever degree they're willing to receive those codes, receive those templates, receive that grace from your energy system, they'll also receive that.
Every
So
person has their own way that they can work. You work, I mean, I wish I didn't work so much with Sanskrit mantra, but I think it was just conditioned into me, right? And like now it's a very effective way for me to transform or connect with divine beings. But
yes.
everyone has their own uniqueness. So honoring that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like I usually do it in a really creative ways. It's really just intuitive. There's not a specific method, even though, I've studied so many different methods.
I was just gonna say you're very creative. I bet you are coming up with stuff on the fly. I envy that. I'm like, man, I wish I was as cool as Hanya. I'm over here taking the freaking cookie cutter, pre-cut, spiritual transformation stuff. And I know you're just making it up, and that's so cool.
Yeah, I make it up as I go, but it's really because I feel just the strength of that grace and that energy flowing in, and I intuitively know where it's supposed to land and where it's supposed to go into my system, and I guide it. Even with my spine, I just energetically just tune in and energetically realign my spine so that nothing quite gets stuck. in my spine, and where you can start to feel heaviness if the flow gets blocked, if the meridians get blocked. And so I really just bring all of my awareness into like my meridians, my energetic bodies, my etheric physical body, and like really just readjust and realign where I need to intuitively, just like, so that nothing gets stuck and everything starts flowing. And then I just take it a step deeper into really focusing um, all of that energy that's coming in into my lower body, because that's where we'll find like most humans have their resistance is in their lower body. It doesn't want to go that deep.
Mm.
It doesn't want to penetrate that deep because of just all of the way we're wired in our nervous system and in our bodies to be really primal. So I find like really focusing that energy into my hips, my knees, my legs, my feet, like really powerfully, just seeing it ground into the earth really has an effect. Like congruency. Yeah, I'm going to be congruent from, the top half to the down half. It's not going to be just in the way that I speak or present myself to others, but it's really going to be an embodied consciousness, the way that I show up in daily life, the way I show up in conflict, the way I show up when things are hard. So when that grace is truly embodied and grounded at those deeper levels, you can truly show up that way, like in integrity with coherence.
Get that grace into the unconscious. Man,
Yeah.
I feel like you're so sensitive, you're so dialed in. I feel like a caveman with like a blunt, force object using mantras, but it seems to work. It seems to work. One thing that I would love to refine my sensitivity and spiritual practices for is different beings, I think, can bridge their own kind of flavors of grace, their own kind of like Lord Ganesha grace is different than Christ's grace is different than Babaji's grace, different
Yes.
than yeah. It's wild. I would love to like feel that kind of attunement. I think we do to some degree, and then I think there's a general kind of flow that happens. But do you think the deities that we connect to that give us grace here on earth, do you think they are like, um, do you think they hang out throughout other dimensions, throughout the cosmos? Do you think they're like, or do you think people at Arcturus are like, do they have a different kind of pantheon of divine beings that they connect to? And do you have an, I'm just generally curious. I have no idea.
I really think it's a combination of both, right? I mean, just like our planet, we have so many different levels of consciousness. So I think, um, yeah, those galactic lineages and planets also have different spheres of consciousness. And so I definitely think that there are higher aspects of us, multidimensional aspects of us that are hanging out with them. And that they also connect with us. And it's just a really different dimension of relationship, because at those levels, you're friends, actually. You're friends with each other. And you're part of this divine group, divine community where you're seen as equal to each other. So, there's really no reason to ever feel truly lonely, even here on Earth. Because when you tune into the higher levels, you can truly feel not only like not just a teacher student relationship, you can actually feel a friendship and equality at those levels where all of you are learning from each other, and where that part of you is already truly experienced and mastered. And so you're relating to them at that level, and that's what you can tune into for truly knowing like that's who you truly are. That's where I truly am, and bridge that into your human self.
There's so much purity coming through when you talk about just having that authentic friendship.
Yes, yeah. There really isn't any hierarchy at those levels in the way that our primitive minds and brains understand relationship to be. It's truly an equanimous, equality, harmonious relationship where each individual soul and member's unique wisdom and unique offering is truly honored, and where even like divergences and frequencies are harmonized.
So how do
So
we create this on Earth, Hanya? This sounds like a wonderful utopia. Kind of, maybe they're not. Have you heard like Earth is in the Kali Yuga era, like the era of darkness, where like every tree will become a store and there's like no spiritual truth. Everyone in power is fucking corrupt, like, and then you come there and go for enlightenment when you're used to pure friendships and everyone being honored. What a contrast. But but how, like, do you think it's possible to begin to replicate what the level of purity in those relationships? Can it come through?
it absolutely can. I mean, it will, genuinely and honestly, it will take the planet and it will take humanity a long time to be able to replicate it to the level and like the purity and frequency that it actually exists in. I think we have a lot to learn in terms of actually how to form communities harmoniously and without hierarchy. I think that's such a huge learning curve for humanity that it will take time. It will take hundreds of years, thousands of years to that point, but we definitely can start bridging that into our own personal lives with our own personal relationships, and really start to bring those qualities. It's really about qualities. We can
Mm.
look at the qualities that these higher civilizations embody, and we can start to bridge those qualities in our own life and in the way that we speak, in the way that we take action, in the way that we relate to others. And it's practice, so practicing it every single day. Practicing really how to form harmonious community. And there's going to be like a stepping back process where you take two steps back and one step forward, because it is such a huge learning curve. But absolutely, I think that is the purpose of why we're here, is to bridge that higher knowledge, that higher wisdom of right relationship into our lives, and to really make it into our own unique way with human civilization. I think that's really what we're meant to do.
So let's do it real quick. We would say what, like bridging, we would become make our energy system a bridge of the attributes needed to
Yes.
form relationship like it's known in the higher dimensions.
Exactly, with true right relationship. And I think that begins with truly bridging and understanding that all is the soul, and to see every single individual person as a soul, as a divine being, not just their personality, not just their subconscious. And then going deeper into that, bridging divine qualities of just deep respect, deep respect for each individual's own unique evolutionary process. I think a lot of why we have conflict, or what I call dissension on Earth and within humanity, is this through polarity consciousness, through not being able to truly perceive how we can take just different perspectives, different emotional states of various people within the group, and just different preferences, different religious or spiritual backgrounds, different political views, and how to really harmonize all of that without any kind of reaction or conflict or like identity formation. And I think that's what's really going to create really a society that's grounded in that unconditional love, in that grace, extending grace to other beings, extending grace to your fellow human. So I think a part of that process is really clearing all of that conflict within ourselves that would just be reactive right away to just difference, right? Letting go of that reaction to difference, to perceiving difference, um, and just letting all of the various differences harmonize with each other and actually learning compromise, learning how to compromise and not always have to be right. And when we can truly, I think, disidentify with perceived safety, right? Egoic safety, like why do we react to differences? It's because we're really afraid of our own safety. We're afraid that, if somebody else gets their way or if their perspective gets their way, that we are then unsafe and that a community of people are unsafe. And if we can really just uproot ourselves from that egoic safety and all of that worry and really tune into um, truly what would serve highest and best good for everyone in this situation, I think we can actually learn how to compromise and take all of these different perspectives, all of these different energies, and actually harmonize them and come to like a decision, come to a way forward that isn't just about any one person being right. It's about harmonizing like the various fields of consciousness and sort of coming to a middle, right? Where everyone is at. Um, and I think that really takes your heart really, really being open and cultivating so much divine patience for the human condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you see Mother Amma, she is hugs people, from basically all night till the sun rises again. So much patience. And part of that is that kind of sacrifice. It's
Yeah.
also kind of said like, I think this iteration of the world being Kali Yuga, currently being dissension, being conflict, and that being the like just destined course. Um, it's not supposed to like I don't think everyone's meant to go into it, but pockets of beauty can be created. And
Yes.
like I kind of get the vibe in the higher dimensions, higher dimensional beings like Arcturians, truth has its own like frequency, has its own bandwidth, resonance, and that is the like predominant vibration. That's just like, and so it trumps. And like with that being so prolific there, it kind of like anything coming, from, you know, non-truth or selfishness or these other kind of, selfish manipulative motivations, it's just like, it just doesn't fit, right? Just like, well, here it's kind of reversed, like coming from truth. It's like, well, that doesn't quite fit into, right? The puzzle. But we get this awesome task of creating something kind of as pure as possible. Why don't we were talking about using the energy system to bridge grace. What if we did this now? We just, it was kind of a line in our spine and bridge the attributes or qualities necessary to create relationship as it's known in the higher dimensions. Where should we just say like as it's known on Arcturus, as it's known in allowing our energy systems, and just
Yeah.
intend in your energy system to be a bridge of the attributes needed to create truly beautiful, harmonious relationship as it's known in the higher dimensions. As it's known in Arcturus. And just reaffirm one more time to bridge those attributes for harmonious relationship as it's known in the higher dimensions, as it's known on Arcturus. Did anything come through for you? Do you get a specific something? I feel light. I feel this like light and like a strength and power and care. Like,
I feel heart expansion. So I really feel a deep tenderness in the heart. And I feel like this circle of care, like this space holding and patience for humanity.
and that quality of patience has some self-sacrifice because we just endure in
Yes.
it. Yeah, beautiful.
Yes. And self-sacrifice, not in a egoic way, like self-sacrifice meaning that we truly sacrifice all of our identity, our pain, all of our fears, you know, of safety, our fears of death. We truly abandon that which is not real, and sacrifice that which is not real, so that we can truly hold space for that which is real and for the collective, for that patience.
It feels like if I can just consciously kind of like relax this part of me that's like so wants to be back there, so feels that that is home. If I can kind of surrender that attachment,
Mhm.
it's like I can let in even more of that Arcturian goodness. They're just like, yeah, even more, right relationship with us. What's up? They come in even stronger, kind of like affirming like that, letting go of that over attachment kind of even gets you more of what you're seeking. It's really beautiful.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
really beautiful. And life just keeps showing me galactic people are straight up the kindest. They're my faves. When I meet someone like galactically connected, I'm like, thank God. Thank God. You are most likely going to be a very just more enjoyable than the average human. For sure. No offense, average humans. Um, yeah, those Arcturians are really coming in super strongly with that. Do you see the Arcturian like I don't know, chamber the right word or whatever you would say it is, the places where they heal souls? Can you pick up on that?
Yeah, I mean they do have like very advanced technology. And what I see also as like chambers of healing. Yeah, for healing souls, definitely. And you know, there's also Sirius B. Sirius B really is sort of like the oversoul of humanity in a way, really guides the heart of humanity, the higher heart of humanity. And they really hold a lot of knowledge and wisdom around right relationship.
I can feel it almost
Yeah.
bridging in. You're
Yeah.
creating your own Lionsgate, your own Sirian alignment, Hania. I can actually feel it though. You, s- the higher heart coming through.
Yes. The higher heart.
Wow. And then I always find it like so just like m- arduous, meticulous. I'm like, okay, like we know how life can be. And then it's like being in a human body, there's like so much human karma to clean up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Being human can feel really, really difficult and really hard. And I always remind myself, and it's important to remember to not be so attached, right? To our whatever our knowledge is of these galactic and cosmic civilizations and lineages, because it's really about the present moment. We're here in this body. We chose at higher levels, you know, at our soul level, we chose to have this experience as a human. And there is just great benefit to that. And I always remember that the microcosm is the macrocosm, right? So there's no separation. Really bridging that, like no separation between this and that, no separation between the cosmic and the physical. And the only barrier we have is time. Is really our understanding of time, our experience of time. And if we really take time away as a factor, right, that limits our mind, we can see, um, thousands of years from now where that timeline is already there, it already exists, where we're already a planet, an Earth that's truly connected with those higher values, those higher virtues, that knows how to have sort of a utopian society, a utopian humanity, and we're actually already living it. And if we just take away time as a factor in our consciousness, we can actually go there and experience that. And I always bring myself back to that.
It seems like those galactic pieces know how to create something truly fulfilling, like that have
Yes.
done it. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I feel. And I even feel like the guidance there of, um, Amma, Satguru Amma being like, kind of like I feel her nudges like away from her ashram, away so much from her like her programs, her bhajans, because it's like there's a unique like fulfillment with kind of galactic beings are kind of like might be meant to carve out for themselves that
Yes.
yeah, which isn't precast, it's not pre-molded. But I think that last piece of like I don't know how it is on other dimensions to learn via contrast or via polarity or via pain. Um, it does seem like the process gets easier, and I think with our links to Arc being Arcturus, we probably are habituated. We've had some, probably really delightful times working, healing souls there. So we might have just more of an ability to maybe innately being with the constituents of what comprises soul healing, which is the pain, the trauma, the karma. We probably have a higher tolerance. Um, it does not seem like the average muggle gets it. But one, it doesn't seem like they get it. But two, uh, I think the more I mature, the more I understand, okay, like this chunk of pain will move my consciousness and like what I can truly find fulfilling. It will moving this chunk of pain will move me closer towards what the, deepest light inside of me wants. Um, I don't know why they set it up that way, but I think Kush said to me once, my mentor, he's like, hey, have pity on me, Christopher. I don't make the rules, I just try to understand them. So it just feels like that. We don't make the rules. We just kind of try to understand them. Like, okay, big chunk of pain, moving me closer where I want to go. You know?
Absolutely. I think the most important piece of what we can truly receive from, connecting to those um, galactic planetary spheres, various ones, is not necessarily like how things work specifically over there, because I think it's so much beyond the mind. I think some of those civilizations don't even have laws of karma or those processes, right? Um, they really just live through deep alignment with divine will, and just have an internal knowing of how to coexist with each other in really utopian, blissful, harmonized ways. And there's large pockets of that. But I think the most important thing we can connect to is the divine values and virtues that we can really bridge with them, um, of higher consciousness. Like, I think that's the most important thing we can receive. And healing modalities, we can bridge healing modalities, whatever is possible on Earth. Um,
Can we please bridge healing modalities?
Yeah, I feel like there's certain humans where that's their dharma, like that is what they're most aligned to bring through, and they do, and they have, like we do have we do have various alternative healings on the planet that were channeled, from galactic places and spaces. So that definitely exists. And I think like the important takeaway is that they have a much vaster understanding of what makes up a being, right? It's not just the human body. At a very primitive level of understanding with humans, a lot of people just believe it's the human body and there's nothing beyond that, right? There's no multidimensional energetic bodies, there's no etheric bodies, there's no chakras, energy centers, or meridians. And so I think it's just a much vaster understanding that they have of what comprises a being, and truly having an understanding of all of the different layers, which makes them such masterful healers.
Yeah, I've heard Kush say that like the Arcturians have incredibly high civilization. They do have some deep wounding as a culture.
Yeah.
Do you know any? Do you have any intuitive hints about what's caused the deep wounding of the Arcturians? Or
Not specifically Arcturians. I think just so many different planetary spheres, whether it's Arcturus, Antares, Sirius, Orion, Vega, Lyra, um, and Andromeda. I think they really mirror in a lot of ways the struggles that humanity have. It's really an outgrowth. Um, it's really an outgrowth of sort of the same struggles that humans actually struggle with. It's just they have smaller pockets of them.
okay,
Yeah, they have smaller pockets of those struggles than we do, where it's just like it's worldwide. It's a worldwide phenomena, and over there you'll find mostly a world that's harmonized with very small pockets where there's struggle. Um, and some of that is truly the same things that we struggle with, right? With polarity, with just the degradation of spirituality and spiritual teachings, or just different spiritual lineages that don't know how to harmonize with each other. And also planetary war. That's not something that any of them are immune to. So that's what I mean, that it really mirrors a lot of the things that we already have on the planet. And really, when we incarnate as humans, we bring all of that galactic and cosmic karma with us. And we
very
also
crazy.
play it out within humanity. So
Right.
not just it's not just a human thing. It is a universal thing, the universal struggle.
Last thing. Let's do, how are you up for this? Let's do bridge of healing modalities, like whatever healing modalities or just kind of healing frequencies maybe want to come through. How does
Yeah,
that sound?
healing frequencies, healing templates, and the virtues, attributes that want to come through.
All right. So it's going to kind of line in that central energetic pillar, vertical column from tailbone to the crown of the head, overlapping the spine, minus that little S curve, just straight up and down. I'm going to say bridge, kind of connecting to those higher dimensions that are ushering us even beyond them and their higher dimensional, maybe they might be ushering us into deeper states of realization of what we are, but asking them, bridging healing modalities, healing frequencies, healing templates, most appropriate for this now, this time. And just kind of relax, soften as the templates come in while holding your spine strong. Bridge of healing templates, modalities, frequencies. I'm seeing kind of like, it's just like anomalous piece of the like our existence, like in that grace factor, that grace wild card of it's hard to describe. It's like our sphere of existence can operate within grace and be protected by grace, even when the world is in upheaval.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing almost like being in the eye of the storm and those codes and templates that we can truly embody that allow us to be like a mountain, right? That strength that's unshakable, unmovable, even when there is chaos all around us.
Yeah. So that seems to be important, kind of this autonomy piece to the outer world. And I think
Yes,
really more and more we go into a state of realization of what we are, the more we can bridge grace and kind of know more of a protection is with us so we can bring through even more light, um, more confidently in more and more contexts.
yes,
Yeah, I gotta get over that. This biological instrument that just so fears perishing. But
yes.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's also, um, I'm experiencing this omnipotent love. Like it's omnipotent. There's a true strength to be able to hold that love, right? Hold that love regardless of what's happening around you. And it can really sort of um, dispel ignorance, dispel um, just really low frequency behavior and communication.
I can feel it transmitting from you. Let's just let that run for a sec. I love how you said it can dispel ignorance. It does bring a quality of clarity to
Yes,
even
yeah,
um, humans
yes,
that can be.
yeah. Holding that omnipotent love, it basically it's more powerful than whatever the energetic projections are of the consensus consciousness, of those thought forms from the consensus consciousness, of the emotional states that can sort of unground a person. And so, because that love is just so enduring, so powerful, it can just dispel all of that and be rooted in clarity. It's so clear in its purpose, it's clear in what it's meant to do and what it's meant to hold. And it has such a strong boundary. It's a paradox, and you can really feel into it. It has a very strong boundary while also being able to hold all of it, being able to hold all of that chaos.
Yeah, boom. Beautiful, Hanya G. All right. I'm gonna link her email below if you'd like to get in touch with Hanya, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.